Gonzaga and Xavier. One of these teams will be making a Final Four appearance for the first time in program history. Incredible runs from the Musketeers as the 11 seed, the only double-digit seed in the Sweet 16, and Mark Few and the Bulldogs winning a rock fight with West Virginia. So let's break it down, Schultzy. Start with the Zags. Most important player against X.
Put him in Game of Thrones if he doesn't make the NBA, Steve. Shimmick Karnowski, the 7-footer, the mountain of a man. Listen, this guy, there's nothing sexy about his game, but you put him in the paint, he can pass. He's certainly a willing passer. You could run your offense through him. I thought it quite a bit during the West Virginia game. Mark Few made it a real priority, Steve, to get him a touch. See if you can't create a double. He can finish with either hand, and he's certainly somebody that can play from the high post.
What do you mean there's nothing sexy about his game? Look at that
Look
hook.
at that sweeping lefty hook. I'm a big fan of Karnowski. He's a four-year player, and he's gotten better every year, and this year, certainly, maybe the most important player for Gonzaga, certainly one of them.
And I know Nigel Williams-Goss not having the outstanding tournament many hope, but I will say this, last possession for West Virginia, who was guarding Trayvon Carter?
Locked up.
Nigel Williams-Goss. Okay, X, most important player.
Trayvon blew it. It's not even close. He has to have a great game.
Again,
because like the Arizona game, there were times in that Arizona game, and this has been the problem with Xavier since they lost Edmund Sumner, where they just struggled to score. But there were times when he just bailed them out. And you know, he's got that old man game, old man strength, whatever you want to call it. Not super athletic, just a guy that absolutely knows how to put the ball in the basket. 6'8", he can post you up, he can shoot the three, and against Arizona, he was the one guy that never was, he never went quiet. He was consistent throughout the whole game. You see this big three he hits late, and that was obviously a far cry from 2 years ago when they got beat in the NCAA tournament by the Wildcats. So Blewett, for me, is absolutely the most important player for the Musketeers.
Tip of the cap to Chris Mack. The Musketeers have beaten a 6 seed, a 3 seed, and a 2 seed to get to this point. Now they face the 1 seed. Do the Musketeers pull off another upset?
They can. I don't think they will. I mentioned Blewett. He's everything right with college basketball. So is that Xavier program. Chris Mack, guy that's worked his way up. But ultimately, Gonzaga, to me, a little more talented. You mentioned before, Steve, that earlier tonight, that West Virginia, you saw Gonzaga win a tough, grind-out game. Xavier is going to do some of the same things from an execution standpoint. They're not as quick laterally, not as athletic, but they do present a lot of problems. I think ultimately Gonzaga, this is Mark Few's best defensive team, and I think that's the reason why they get it done. They will bother Xavier just enough.
Mark Few was asked after the Sweet 16 win about getting the Final Four monkey off his back. He said, it's not about me or my monkey or my dogs or my cats. Fact is this, 24 tournament wins for Mark Few, most by any coach without a Final Four appearance. But Schultz is saying 25 is coming this weekend, and the drought finally ends.